From the Alice Cooper Group, the original Alice Cooper Band, Dennis Dunaway, bassist. New book, Snakes, Guillotines, Electric Chairs, My Adventures in the Alice Cooper Group. Dennis, good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm very excited today. My book is out after 18 years of writing and looking for a publishing deal, and wow, I can't believe it. It's available everywhere books are available now.
Absolutely. I hope people get a chance to read it. I'm a big fan of the band, and actually I just had seen Super Duper Alice Cooper, the film that came out last year, too, that kind of tells the story. But this is from your perspective, a guy who was there from the very beginning. You and Vince, Alice Cooper, good friends from the very start, correct?
We became friends in high school in 1963. We were only 16 years old. Yeah.
And then, of course, the band and the success. I don't know if people appreciate how big, how successful, how crazy some of those tours were in the, early 70s, I guess, 72 through Billion Dollar Baby, 73, 74. That was just an incredible time.
Yeah, those were our glory years. There were a lot of years of hard work leading up to that. But, yes, it's hard to put it in perspective because the times have changed and what's going on in the country has changed. And back then there was heavy censorship, so we had to be shocking, but we had to do it. We couldn't go too far over the line or we would just be censored and nobody would see or hear it. So we had to push the boundaries carefully. But back then, what we were doing was shocking. You look back on what we were doing now, and it's hard to put it into that perspective.
Dennis Dunaway is with us, bassist from the original Alice Cooper Band, Snakes, Guillotines, Electric Chairs. His new book is out now. You mentioned that, there was a lot of time put in before a real breakthrough for the band. Did audiences, when you started putting on this kind of theatric performance, and even before then, it was a really I guess I'd say an aggressive performance, right? You guys were really into it on stage. What did audiences make of Alice Cooper?
Well, we were playing in the Southwest in Arizona, and there would be cowboys in the crowd, and they did not like what we were doing. They didn't like the way we looked. They didn't like any of it. And so we had a lot of, getting out of town with pick up with shotguns in the racks, chasing us and stuff like that. But we were persistent. That's one of the amazing things about our story. We had 5 personalities and plus a couple other guys that were helping us. Charlie Carnell did our light show, and Mike Amp Boy Allen, we called him, moved our equipment for us. But we were all so convinced about this vision, artistic vision, to outrage people and do anything we could to get people to talk about the band, that we definitely put our lives on the line more than once.
Now, when you guys began to feel this success and see the crowds and get the radio airplay, how clearly did you see the path to continuing it? The one-hit wonders, guys have a band, or guys have a hit song fade away. How did you guys see this path toward continued success for Alice Cooper?
Well, we had all of these big ideas way back in the early days. We just couldn't afford to do them. So all success meant for us was that now we had the money to do the bigger shows. So that was it, and we were generally, especially me, I think, was so driven to this artistic presentation that I didn't really think about, success in terms of, oh, now we're going to make a bunch of money or now we're going to be famous. I thought it more in, oh, now we're going to be able to really shock the world with this new statement. It's all artistic for me. But you're working so hard. By the time you're successful, you don't have time to think about it.
Dennis Dunaway is with us, bassist from Alice Cooper. His new book is out right now. Snakes, Guillotines, Electric Chairs, My Adventures in the Alice Cooper Group, wherever fine books are sold. Specifically on a song from the Killer album, it's one people probably know, Under My Wheels. That was one you got writing credit on. It's the lyrics for sure, right? It says in the book you have the lyrics in a lyric book ready to go and kind of put it together from there, right?
Well, I wrote the song in my head, and it was basically, I'm thinking in terms of we need a rock and roll song. And I got Glenn Buxton to sit down with me and showed him the chords, and then Michael Bruce, because I knew if I had somebody else in the band that could play it, it would make for a more likely presentation to the group. That just playing it on bass isn't the same. It needed a guitar.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, okay, well, it's going to be, Glenn Buxton was afraid that it was going to be a sappy girl song because it was about going to pick up the girl. But I'm like, no, the guy accidentally runs over her and she gets squashed, and he's like, oh, okay, that's all right.
And that's how you make it a real Alice Cooper track, yes.
Yeah, Glenn was always adamant that we don't ever do any sappy girl songs. But it was a rocker, and it did quite well in certain parts of the country, but it didn't quite reach the level that I'm 18 did.
Sure.
So Killer was my favorite album. Well, my heart's always with Pretties for You, but Killer had, Be My Lover was a hit,
yep,
and Under My Wheels was a hit, but neither of those struck that same chord with teenagers that I'm 18 did. So because of that, those not reaching that level, then that's what led to us coming up with Schools Out, because we said we gotta hit that I'm 18 age group again.
Right. Dennis Dunaway, just another minute. I have a friend who is just the biggest Alice Cooper fan that I know, and I said, well, what do you want me to ask? I got Dennis. What do you want me to ask? The one thing you wanted to ask, what is your favorite song to play live?
Oh, man. Wow. I love Caught in the Dream. Halo Flies is a challenge. I love it for that. But I don't know. Caught in a Dream is just fun.
Well, that's what you want, right? That's a favorite song to play live. Dennis Dunaway with us from the Alice Cooper group, and his book, Snakes, Guillotines, Electric Chairs, available all over the place. And you're still playing songs, recording. The new band's called Blue Coop, and I saw there's some guys from Blue Oyster Cult also in the band, right?
Yes, Joe and Albert Bouchard, the brothers. Joe played bass with Blue Oyster Cult, and he plays guitar with us, and Albert plays drums, and they're both music teachers, and they're both multi-instrumental talented, and we played last night at the book launch with Tish and Snooky, and a bunch of young girls got up and joined us for Schools Out. They all had the Alice makeup on, and it was quite a thing. But Joe and Albert are great. I met them in 1972 when the Alice Cooper group was headlining, and we were looking for an opening group. We were in North Carolina at an outdoor festival, beautiful day, and so me and Neil and Alice were walking around out in the crowd, and these guys came on, Blue Oyster Cult, and I said, wow, we got to get these guys to open for us. And we became friends and have been musical, getting together to jam and record demos and stuff over the years, and then we decided to make it official.
Excellent. Dennis Dunaway, the new book, Snakes, Guillotines, Electric Chairs, My Adventures in the Alice Cooper Group. Thank you for your time today, and appreciate the music so much, too.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it.